and welcome PocketWatch here, and it's about time for another episode of Fata Morgana. Let's continue our Requiem for Innocence, because apparently it's not the end of the story. So yeah, let's see. I guess like we're going now into the story where we're going to see how everything went to hell basically under Jacopo rule. So yeah, just continue. I have nothing to say. Like, last episode been crazy, and who knows what will happen next. So let's go to the Recollections of an Outlaw. Requiem for Innocence Interlude. Yep, okay. Recollections of an Outlaw. You are in the mood for something juicy, you say. I hate to break it to you, chum, but I ain't made of dough. This sounds like Gratian. I'd like a nice slab of meat, as much as the next bloke, but I'm barely making do as is. We all are, in case you hadn't noticed. What? You are not hungry? You just want a juicy story to go with your drink? Then why did you say that to begin with? Huh, give me a sec. I think I got one you'll like. A few months back, me and a bunch of other blockers went out on a ride. This puny little village. They didn't do much trade, just living off what they could grow. So no one figured who would make out with much. Okay, maybe this is not a Gratian. Who is this? Grab a little grab. Plus some of the girls. That was the best and I was hoping for. This is someone from the ride that we had on the Brodo. Business as usual. We killed the guys, had some fun with the girls, and then killed them too. Well, shit. Nothing too interesting, and nothing really exciting up to this point. But that changed when I busted into this one house. Okay, what is this? There's a woman, there's a man and woman, and a little girl, maybe 5 years old. No siblings, just a girl. Real small family for a village like that. That comes at me to protect the girl. That comes at me to protect the girl. Then Ma tries to block me way. What is this pronunciation? What are these pronunciations? What the hell? It sounds like I'm reading Gratian's lines again. No surprise. Here, I killed them both. Couple of unarmed farmers, easy as snapping a baby's neck. That left the kid. Wasn't like she could do nothing, so I didn't have to kill her. But you know how the stupid things get. Crying like it's the end of all bloody what. So I figured I would run her through before she starts howling on me, right? But look at this. The kid smiled at me and said, "Where are you from, mister?" Is this like a Seren backstory? Oh no, not you two, goddammit, chat. Ah, this gonna be rough in it. Stop being Gratian. This is Seren backstory, it seems, because Barnier said that her parents been killed in front of her, and she's smiling. We suddenly get Seren's backstory. I guess we missed that one, but that's unexpected, because she's no longer here. Couldn't believe my ears. God, your parents were just killed by me. I'm coming to kill you next. How the hell are you smiling? And how the hell are those the first words out of your tiny little mouth? Wait. Where are you from, mister? Yeah, okay. Creeped me out, truth to be told. So much, so I lost all interest in killing her. So I dug around for anything worth taking and then went on me way. What the fuck? Stop doing this. And then went on me way. But this damn kid, I try to leave, and guess what? She fucking follows me. Doesn't want revenge or nothing, just smiling like a fool. I'm a patient bloke, but this just was beyond the pale. I yelled at the stupid thing. Why the hell are you following me? Piss off. And she gives me this confused look and says, I'm bored. Everyone else stopped moving, so I have nothing else to do. But you are still moving, mister. What the hell? Me, damn head, was spinning. She was maybe 5, yeah? I could understand her being a little stupid, but she should have known right from the wrong enough to know to be scared of me. You would have to be out of your minds to come trotting after the bastard who just offed your parents. And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what her problem was. She wasn't right in the head. I tried to get her pissed off, but she wasn't hearing it. The other guy started talking. Maybe we should just neck her, right? Then one guy says with a big smile, well, so we take bets on what it would take to make the kitty cry. So we did just that. We start placing bets. Okay? I guess none of them won. Give her a good yell and she will cry. Knock her around, Sam. That will do it. I sell young out to 242. Oh, Jesus! We're going to like more and more extremes. Rip off her nails one by one. Oh my god. And finally... God fucking damn it. Plow her till she breaks. Assuming I know what he says, that's fucked up. I mean, she's like 5, right? Jesus! What the fuck is wrong with these people? Went around and did everything we could think of, our absolute worst. Not like we were pretending to be good people, but it ain't every day you see a bunch of grown men taking turns knocking the hell out of a 5-year-old girl. And hell, that by itself a good drinking story if I heard one. But it keeps going. She never cried. No matter what we did. Not at once. It must be some kind of like medical condition. She would groan and twist her face when we hit her, so she did feel pain. But even that was only for a second. After that, she's been back at smiling like an idiot. Tell you the truth, she seriously creeped me the fuck out. I wanted to just end it here, end there, and forget all about her. But the rest of the guys, they took a liking out to her, wanting to bring her back with us. I tried to talk them out of it, but one guy says, what's the big deal? And like we adopting her, we'll have some fun, and when we get bored, she's gone. And it's pretty damn hard to argue against that. If I keep fighting, I would look like I was trying to be a good guy or something. And so, now we've got this kid in the crew. First month or so, she's with us, everyone's treating her like the plaything. But after a little while, that starts to change. They start being kinda nice to her. Giving her extra food, letting her join in our conversations, that sort of thing. She still creeped me out, sure, but the way she never stopped smiling. Who is this guy talking to? Like, he's like having like... telling the story to someone, to the drink. But she wasn't ugly or nothing. Could be kinda cute even. Once she started talking with us more, I realized something. None of us knew the damn kid's name. Wow. So I asked her, and get this. She says, I am me. Good job. That fucking serious. Now, like I've been saying, the girls always never made much sense. But there's also another level. So I pressed her, no, what's your name? But she just tilts her head and says the same thing, I'm me. So you're saying your name is me? I ask and she gives me this big fat grin and nods her head. Imagine her having a name Me, and there would be like something. Me gives me this big fat grin. Who the hell names their kid Me? Her parents, the parents would seem like reasonable enough folks. They at least cared enough to try and protect her from me. They just run out of ideas, trying to come up with a name for her or what. As I'm thinking to myself, I see there's something sewed in the bottom of her shirt. Looking at the writing, but I can't read for shite. So I call over the only educated guy in the crew, and have him look at it. Turns out, it was a name. Seren. Yep. Doesn't surprise me that we actually have a Seren backstory. I mean, it was the thing that was missing from the like Seren character per se. We got like glimpse of her backstory, like she was like saying from her perspective, and it's been kind of missing. So I'm glad we have this, but this is kind of sudden too. Right after she died. Your name ain't Me, it's Seren, I say. And she lights up like a fucking village we just got through with. Wow. Really? My name's Seren? I never knew? I thought the biggest sigh of my life to say to her, you're the dumbest broad I ever known. Wow. About a month after we picked the girl up, we had a bit of trouble. There's this chubby bloke by the name of Marcos. Okay, and he starts getting this thing for her, yeah? I ain't one to get on a guy about what gets his rocks off, but 5-year-old girl? That just ain't right. Yeah. Marcos is kinda slow in the head, always at the back of pack, and mostly useless when we went out on jumps. Only reason we kept him around was cause he made a good pack mule. Every party needs a pack mule. He was annoying as hell, besides. Always saluting and saying aye aye. Like he thought we were a bunch of pirates or something. Okay. And he called everyone boss, because apparently that was the only form of respect he knew. Okay. Weird guy. Day after day of aye aye boss, and I'm on it boss, and let me message your back boss, was enough to drive a man's mad. And because he was the first one to talk to her, Seren started imitating him. Oh, she was talking to Maria, like she was like... Wait, yes, Seren was saying the same thing to Maria. Aye aye boss, I think like she was saying the same. Yeah. At least in the beginning. So now we got two buffons running around, talking like that. Obnoxious as it was, though, end of the day, that's all it was. But that changed when Marcos started getting real fond of the girl. Every little thing we did, he would go around telling us to be nicer to her, yeah? But far as we saw it, compared to when we first took her in, we were treating her pretty damn well. Of course, that's all relative. A proper slave probably still got less help from their masters than we gave the girl. But remember, we only brought her along so we could have fun. We never intended to make her part of the crew. But Marcos wasn't having any of it. Son of a bitch actually snapped at us. You'll pay if you don't stop right now, boss. Idiot wanted a fight, so we gave him a fight. The whole lot of us beat the ever-loving hell out of him, stomped his face in so bad he couldn't even recognize the poorest bastards anymore. But that wasn't enough for him. His face, a big bloody mess, Marcus said, I won't let you lay a finger on Seren, boss. Tell you the truth, I didn't think he had the sack. Then, Seren comes trotting in, Seems she heard the ruckus and wanted to see what's up. Okay. Marcus' eyes went wide and he yelled, "Stay back." But the girl, she just stood there, same old stupid smile on her face. Seeing her coming, one of the other guys smirks, plops his arms down on Marcus' back, and holds a knife up against his neck and says, "Hey Seren, you like Marcus?" Jesus, that's brutal. And with a big grin she answers, "Hi boss." Okay. For the swollen, bruised up mess, his face was... You could just barely... Jesus. For the swollen, bruised up mess his face was, you could just barely make out Marcus smiling. Next again his back says, "Then, wouldn't it make you sad if we wrapped him up a bit more?" What do you mean, wrapped him up? Cut off his fingers, scoop out of his eyes, you know, have a little fun. Oh, Jesus. Fun is fun? Why would that make me sad? Fun! Great! Seren, you're in the wrong game. You should be in the Gore Screaming show. There's a lot of fun. You heard that? I ain't making this up. This girl's still standing there smiling, and Marcos, he got pale as a ghost. And he did it. He cut off his fingers. Seren's still smiling. He gouged out his eyes. Still smiling. And finally, he slit Marcos' throat. Even as the blood spraying right into her face, she never once stopped smiling. This is so fucked up. Just before he kicked off Marcus, looked like he was thrown into the deepest, darkest pit of despair. I've seen the hope drain from God knows how many men's eyes, but that was on the whole another level. As you can imagine, I wasn't the only one Seren creeped out anymore. Everyone felt the same way. She was so messed up, we all thought we might start turning into her if we kept her around any longer. So next city we land on, we sell Seren off. And we'll live happily ever after, minus one twisted little girl. What you think? Juicy enough for ya? You feel sick? Sorry about that, chum. I thought I had the strongest stomach. I do wonder what Seren's up to these days. Yeah, she's kinda dead. She's still smiling like an idiot, or... yeah... She kept smiling till the end. That was kinda... yeah. Oh, we have like bunch of these. Okay, so these are like... chapter with like bunch of backstories? Recollection of some random outlaw, and now recollections of the vassal's wife. I would assume it's going to be about Geneva, whatever her name was. Good day to you too, sir. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Yes, that's correct. This is where our slaves were when they were stolen, as I described, then when I reported it. What? The numbers of stolen slaves I gave you doesn't match the number you heard from the other sources? But this is like... not said by these people, it's just like... because Geneva is dead. So she can be saying this. It must be someone else. Or it's a letter or something. Okay, I was just read. Maybe it's not about her. I don't know. No, I had no intention of deceiving you. I simply assumed it wouldn't be a problem because I wasn't claiming we lost more than we did. Yes, I understand. I beg your pardon. I should have reported the number correctly. I will do so in the future, so please, if you would look the other way, Just this once. Yeah, it must be about Geneva. I mean, she said she was like a servant, right? Or a maid. But this is not her speaking here. Unless it's a backstory, like she's saying this before she died or something. Anyway, timeline is sometimes weird. I don't have strength today to determine the timelines, to be honest. I will just read. Why did I report? Fewer slaves were stolen. I imagined you would find it curious yet. Yes. Why would anyone want less of their lost manpower returned to them indeed? It's quite simple. I do not think it would be any great loss if she were not to come back. Oh, this is all about Seren. Oh! Oh, this is all about Seren. This is the whole journey of Seren's life, basically. Oh, because she was sold like few times. Oh no, she was a fine worker, and she didn't cause any trouble either. You want to know about the girl? I doubt it will be any help to your investigation, but I don't mind telling you. So, this is someone that gathers information about Seren's past for Jacopo. That's what I get from this. There's like Jacopo trying to learn more about Seren, maybe, because how Seren was. Or something for some reason. Anyway, this is someone gathering information about Seren. It would be a help for investigation, but I don't mind telling you. I warn you, it's not a terrible pleasant story though. Very well, as you wish, sir. We purchased her when she was about 5 years old, so she's been with us for quite some time. 8, maybe 9 years now. Oh wow. That's a long time. When we bought her, she was still too young to put to work. She was in good health though, and always had the sweetest smile on her face, so I had little doubt she would do as she was told. Slaves tend to be so gloomy and depressing, you know? Not that I don't understand, but unlike many, we try not to mistreat our slaves. As long as they do their work, they have nothing to worry about. The best slaves, I think, are the ones who aren't so dreary as to be infectious and make us feel guilty. The girl's name was Seren, and when she talked rather funny, she was as bright and cheerful as I hoped. And she was always smiling from ear to ear. For a while, it felt like we had a brand new member of our family. I was so taken with her, I almost considered adopting her instead of keeping her as a slave. And how did it go? From wanting to take her to not caring if she didn't come back. Yeah, something fucked up happened and she smiled. It's rather difficult to explain, to tell you the truth. Yes, that's right, she never caused any trouble, she never stole anything, and she never refused to work. She never cried, and she never got upset. No matter what happened, she always did her work with a smile on her face. That sounds like the ideal slave. Yes, you would think so. And I have no complaints regarding her work. Neither did my husband, or our servants. I imagine I'm the only one who would be happy to never see her again. Okay. Why? What happened? I started to think the girl's peculiar about 2 years after we purchased her. Right around the time one of our other slaves attempted to run away. Yes, that's right. As I said, we have never once mistreated our slaves. Other slave owners could learn a thing or two from us, I say. With all our slaves, when we buy them, that they will be set free as soon as they've worked enough to pay back what we paid for them. So he had only 10 years. And then he would be in free. But he chose to spit in the face of our generosity and... My apologies, I've gotten off track, haven't I? Oh. So did you punish him? Did you kill him or something? The slave who ran off was captured soon after, but trying to flee is one of the greatest transgressions a slave can commit against his master. As such, it was, as I am sure you understand, necessary to punish him. But I assure you, we never mistreat. Yes, I'm sorry. I'll continue. Okay, so how will you punish without mistreating? As I said, he had to be punished. My husband took a length of rope and used it, as a whip, I think it's called. Okay. He had all the slaves watch as he lashed the one that he tried to run. It was for their own sake. Their slaves needed to see what would happen if they attempted to flee. The lashing continued for a full day. All the slaves present reacted differently. Some averted their eyes, some cried, some looked on trembling. But it was clear that they were afraid, which meant the punishment had served its purpose. And Seren was there like, oh, that looks fun. Let me try it. Jesus. Seren is creepy. For everyone except Seren, that is. Yes, that's correct. She simply smiled. At first I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me, but every time I looked at her, I saw the same thing. As the slave being lashed screamed out in pain, Seren didn't even flinch. She just stood there, smiling. Just looking at her gave me chills. My husband thought it curious as well, but he wasn't nearly as put off as me. She was 7 at the time and a hard worker, and he said there was no issue, as long as she didn't cause any trouble. And she was with them like for 9 years, right? So it's been 2, so she's 7, so... So when she left them, she would be 14. I think. Math is hard. But that completely missed the point, you know? She gave me the creeps. I wasn't comfortable with her around. But of course my husband has the final say, I can't defy him. So I did my best to forget that day. I couldn't get the girl out of my mind though, no matter how hard I tried. My gaze was drawn to Seren. I noticed quite a bit as I observed her more carefully. Say one of the slaves hurts himself while working. You might expect another slave to ask if he's alright, to help patch up the wound, to volunteer, to take on his responsibilities for the day, to show concern and compassion. But Seren, she would just smile and go on her way. Not a word, Jesus. So basically later on, like, she just left Seren somewhere, I guess, and haven't reported her back. She was hardly perfect either, as anyone though, and she would make mistakes occasionally. Everyone slips up, and we try to not make a huge fuss about it because we sincerely value our slaves and the work they... My apologies. Wow. She must like keep giving us this info that they surely not mistreat their slaves. In any case, we can't simply brush such mistakes off, so we make sure to admonish them whenever something happens, to ensure things run smoothly. Okay. That's kind of a contradiction. But even as I scold her, Seren is still smiling. I mean, I guess like scolding is not mistreating, per se. I guess. Seren is still smiling. As I'm sure you can imagine. It's hard not to feel as though you are being disrespected. So once I lost my temper and smacked her. It was only once though, I swear. I'm not violent woman, I hate raising my hand to anyone. I was sure that if nothing else would make her cry. But she still smiled with half of her face red and swollen. I was perplexed. I came straight out and asked her, "Why do you not cry?" "I just hit you, how can you keep smiling?" And she said, "What would I cry? I'm not sad about anything." Oh! Pressing the issue further, I discovered she had evidently never felt bad for anyone in her life, including herself. Can you imagine? How terrible is that? It's not right. So I decided I need to teach her how she was supposed to act. I taught her that when she saw someone get hurt, she needed to show sympathy. That when she was being reprimanded, she needs to show remorse and a desire to improve. Saren listened carefully to every word I said, and before long, she started putting my teachings into practice. Interesting. Okay. At first, I was relieved. Saren was finally a regular girl. She showed concern, compassion, regret. But it was all an act, yep. She acted sad when someone got hurt, and then she turned around and was smiling again. This must be like the most creepy thing ever. Like, she's just like, oh no, you poor thing. Aw, okay, let me help you. I will just get some bandages. She's like, going like, back? It's like, yeah, let's get some bandages. And goes back and oh, Jesus, what the fuck? It never lasted more than a few moments. Emotions were about to flash there, then gone before you realized. It wasn't normal, it wasn't human. She didn't genuinely feel sympathy. Beyond the surface, she was no different than the girl who smiled as a fellow slave was being whipped before her eyes. Sarah had learned nothing. Unable to bear it anymore, I went to my husband again. I told him she wasn't normal. There was something wrong with her. I implored him to do something, but my pleas fell on deaf ears. He was a good worker, he said. We couldn't ask for the better slave, he said. I mean, probably right. Like, she's not complaining, she's doing whatever, like, you tell her. So, in a sense, she is, like, in these times, like, the best slave they could get. But yeah, she is creepy as hell. Oh, but he couldn't have been any more wrong. I wasn't the one who had to look after her. He had no idea what she was like. How unsettling it was merely being in her presence. How deeply upsetting it is. Upsetting. It was, sorry. My apologies, I'm fine now. As you can imagine, I'm not particularly fond of Seren. So it was a weight off my shoulders when I heard she was one of the stolen slaves. Okay. Why are you giving me that look? You think I'm the one who has the problem? You think there's nothing wrong with her, just like my husband? One look at her smile and you would know I'm telling the truth. That she's not as simple eccentric. There's more to it than that. Yeah, I can't take it anymore. There's no one else who will understand me. Okay. Recollections of the prostitute. Okay, so we are now in the first brothel, I think. Because Saren said like she's been like in one before. She went 2 hours. Kick back for a bit. Why don't you? I'm in the mood to talk. Nah, I'm not gonna charge extra. I don't bill by the hour. Oh, you never thought of me as a talkative girl? I guess that just goes to show how much I've taken to you. Nah, I'm not trying to butter you up, I swear. I've been thinking a lot these days about the place I last worked at, and it's really been getting me down. I can think of anyone I want with me at times like this more than you. Did something happen there? Heh, I've been waiting for that question. It's a bit of a long story, I hope you don't mind. Okay. It's like this whole, like, chapter part is going to be about Saren's backstory. There's a city, about 10 days by carriage from here. You know, the one right at the Lord's bar near his doorstep? Okay. The place I used to work was there, and every so often the Lord would summon a few of the prettiest girls to come to his manor. Oh, so this is someone who worked at the brothel that we know. Maria's one. I'm hardly the best looking girl around, even out here, so I was never one of the chosen. But honestly, I'm lucky for it. It's not the kind of thing you wanna go mentioning in public, but the Lord has some unsavory hobbies. Yeah? Yeah, the parties. Every girl who ever came back said, "There's no amount of money you can pay me to do that again." Okay, what the fuck was he doing? Outside of the blood Sabbaths. The fuck? Or does the Lord had a taste of torturing and killing his slaves? Yeah, pretty much. I guess maybe they just witnessed what he was doing in general. Not something that he did to them. Not just if you screw up either. If he is in the mood and he's so much as sees you, you could be dead. You got a dungeon under this manor too. They say, and you can hear wailing coming from down here at all times of day. The Lord enjoys all different kinds of torture. Flying, dismemberment, boiling, water cure. What's the water cure? Never heard about this. Probably I saw it somewhere. Like, is it like this, like water just like dropping slowly on your forehead or something? Like this is like a mental torture basically, or this is something else? I don't know. I'm sure he uses others, but I've only heard bits and pieces secondhand. He only ever killed the slaves. He only ever killed the slaves though. The girls all came back in one piece. Yeah, they just witnessed everything. Water cure is a form of torture in which the victim is forced to drink large amount of quantities of water in short time. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. On the outside at least, being forced to watch people get brutally murdered did a real number on most of them. Some are so broken by the experience they couldn't work anymore. Let me guess. He asked Seren at some point. She came back and she was like, "Oh, that was fun. I want to go back." What the fuck? So the Lord apparently he hosts banquets at his manor every so often. But here's the kicker. He only invited nobles that are into the same sort of thing. He's not the only one. We're being governed by the god knows how many twisted tricks. I don't even wanna think about it. Anyway, something like 2 years ago I think it was, a couple girls came back by looking good, 20 years older, and they told us about one of those banquets. Most of the time, it's just him and his noble friends torturing slaves, but this one was different. There was the girl, maybe 10 years old, chained up naked on the makeshift altar. But here where it gets crazy. Okay, so we are now entering the period of time when Morgana's been imprisoned there. The girl who they called Saint was covered in scars head to toe. They cut her up and filled their cups with her fresh blood. But she didn't cry, she didn't even flinch. She just sat there quietly. Yeah, she kinda got broken. And when she did speak, it was to condemn them as blasphemers and sinners. Can you imagine? Chained up like that, and she's scolding her captors, telling them God will punish them for their actions. I wouldn't have the guts. Maybe she was raised at the church or something, but I'm guessing that that's got something to do with why they called her a saint. Oh yeah, the Celibate Revolt was right around that time too. Okay. So now we are into the time period where we saving Morgana. You heard that? You hear about that? Just rumors? Okay, so this is not someone that Jacopo sent to gather information. This is some random guy just like trying to find Seren or something, because he just heard rumors, so he's not from around here even. Who are we following here? Some new character? Well, they're not just rumors, it's really happened. Because of the revolt, the girls who's been there made it out in mostly decent shape. And for the while afterwards, the Lord didn't send for anyone. I'm guessing he was too preoccupied patching up the holes in his malware and finances to spend much time fooling around. Sort of changing topic for a second, but about that time, there's a dark-skinned girl, the kind you don't see too often around those parts, started working here. Seren? Yeah, name was Seren. She was practically always at the wildest smile on her face and real friendly. So this is actually... okay. I thought like this is some other brothel, not the one that was like next to the barrier. So this is actually the one that Maria was in. And Morgana. And where Seren started working. Yeah, okay. So we are in basically first part period of time now. And real friendly. Seems like kind of girl who draw in a lot of business. And I was right, within a couple of weeks she had already picked up a few regulars and our manager. Oh, never mind, this is actually some other... God damn it, they get me confused. This is actually some other brothel, okay. I mean, she still needs to meet with Barnier in order to love him, so... she needs to be picked from the other brothel, spend some time then come back, and then she gets to the one that we know. And also, they call manager, and there's no manager in our brothel that we know. Okay, I have everything under control, don't worry. Not confused anymore. Within a couple of weeks, she had already picked up a few regulars and our manager was going on about how happy he was with his purchase. Yeah, okay. About a month in, though, we started getting complaints from one of her customers. He said she was being condescending with him. I brought it up with Seren, but she said she had no idea what he was talking about. So I assumed the customer was just imagining it, or full of it. You get guys like this all the time in the business. No, don't worry about it, you are not one of them. But the complaints kept coming in, which made me think maybe there was something going on. So I decided to talk things out, with the guys making the complaints this time, get a picture of what the problem was. Most of them were pretty useless and vague, but the common issue seems to be that her behavior didn't make sense. One guy came in after bungling a huge trade deal, hoping to find some comfort, and he spilled his guts to Seren. But instead of trying to console him, she laughed. Jesus, she's the worst therapist ever. Oh my god. Yeah, no wonder they are complaining. Oh my god. You can see why he wouldn't be thrilled about that. When I asked Seren about it, she gave me a confused look and said, I thought he was telling me a funny joke. Jesus. There was no malice, nothing. She genuinely didn't understand how the customer wanted her to act. Can't run a business like this without a solid customer base, so making sure everyone lives happily is crucial to operation, which is probably not something I should be talking about with the customer, but well, you're special, so cut me some slack, okay? Anyway, something had to be done about Seren. We couldn't risk more dissatisfied customers, So I figured the best thing was to give her some training. Here's how you should react if the client brings up such and such. And here's what you should say if they are looking depressed or upset or whatever. Once again, she's getting instructions of what to do, the same as when she was a slave at the manor there. So she's going to act again. How and when to be reactive and how and when to be proactive. That was a quick study, so it wasn't long before she was putting my lessons to work. I would have been happy with just reducing the number of complaints to more normal level, but Seren improved so dramatically we heard nothing but praise from her from then on. Say a patron was looking a little blue. She would give him a big pouty face and say, "What's the matter? You can't tell me anything." "No, this is terrible. I feel awful for you. Is there anything I can do to help? Anything at all?" Just this constant stream of comfort, almost to the point of being excessive. She'd gone from bright and energetic to sweet and sympathetic as well. At the surface in a way. Every condolence she offered was completely fake. She was acting, and I knew because I was the one who had taught her how. There was nothing wrong with that though. We are not in the business of generally human interactions after all, yeah. Thinking back on it now though, I probably should have taught her what the real thing felt like, rather than just how to fake it. Yeah, the thing is that she wouldn't understand that in a way. About a year later, the Lord started sending the girls again, for the girls again. Well, all we knew he was a madman, and that was common knowledge. But he paid well, and everyone always came back alive, so we reluctantly complied. But we're wrong. Sorry. He did kill the girls this time. Oh. Well, something changed. Drastically. One came back alive, but she was missing an eye and half an arm. Jesus! She was in no condition to go back to work. Even just going about her daily life would be difficult. We were aghast. But things only got worse from there. The next time the Lord sent for us, we panicked. For one, no amount of money was worth what waited at the Lord's manor. And two, it was impossible to run business if your employees kept getting killed. So we attempted to turn him away. But his messenger simply said, "The Lord will not take no for an answer." Jesus! Like, what the fuck? We either complied or we'll all execute for that reason. I guess like the only option was to send Seren because she don't give a fuck. One of the hope we had left crumbled. No one else wanted to do this. We were screwed either way. So we fought among ourselves like the pack of wild animals. "I'm too ugly, you go. I have more regulars, you go. No one likes you anyway." Pure chaos, yeah. I assume like Seren will be there and like Barnier will get like, because Barnier is fucked up too, he's going to see like Seren smiling all the time and he's going to be like, "Oh, I like you. I like your style, yeah." Two madmans. I was of course part of the brawl. And here where she comes in. Seren. Everyone's in a big mob, crawling each other's faces off, and she just tilts her head and asks, "Why are you so afraid of the Lord?" Saying that stupid clueless look on her face, just about everyone in the room burst a vessel. "Alright, we'll send her," we said, and it was decided, yep. Seren smiled, not bothered in the slightest, gave us a cherry "see you later," and went off to the Lord's manor. No one's surprised she never came back. Oh. Okay, so Lord just took her permanently in, then. before he sent her later to the, like, as a spy to the city. Huh. We figured she had been killed. A week or so later, the messenger showed up again, asking for more girls. But at this point, the manager was furious. By this point, he demanded to speak with the Lord in person, saying if something wasn't done, the whole brothel would collapse, and he would put his life on line to prevent that. Seeing him so resolute, I felt a newfound respect for him. I also thought he was a complete idiot, but I still respected him. After all, there was no way the Lord would be open to negotiation. That much was obvious from everything he'd done. The manager and a few assistants set off for the Lord's manor. And about 2 weeks later, he returned. Okay. Or his head did. Never mind. His assistants managed to avoid death, so they were able to tell us what had happened. No one was exactly thrilled to hear more twisted tales about the Lord, but we listened anyway, and no one could have imagined what they told us. Seren was there. With the Lord, alive and well. Yeah, that's crazy, bitch. Not only had she not been killed, he had apparently taken quite a liking to her. The manager was surprised to see her too, but he figured it was as good a chance as he would ever get. I wonder if, like, Seren partake in the blood suburbs of Barnier. I mean, it's probably the only person outside of the nobles that would be, like, smiling, looking while someone's, like, drinking blood and eating, like, meat. Like she would even, like, probably do the same and would be like, that tastes some different, but it's fun. What the fuck? Manager was surprised to see her too, but he figured it was as good a chance as he would ever get. If Seren would speak up in his favor, the Lord might actually listen to her. So, emboldened, the manager pleaded with the Lord, begging him to not harm the girls, that we wouldn't be able to send anyone else otherwise. And for attempting to oppose him, the Lord ordered the manager to be executed. The manager, however, entreated Seren for help. If you have heart, Seren, please, tell the Lord not to take my life. I have people who need me. Without hesitation, Seren nodded, saying, you think you could maybe let him alive? Okay, let him live. That seems a bit, I don't know, disrespectful for a whore to speak to Lord like that, but he didn't get upset with that or anything. He really had taken a liking to her, apparently. The Lord nodded and said, I will offer you a choice then. Oh my god, giving a choice to Seren? That sounds like a terrible idea. Seren, you may have whichever one of the following you prefer. Either I spare this man's life, or you can have my full attention for the rest of the day. What the fuck? The manager and his assistant were all baffled. How was that even a decision? How was a man's life, a man who had employed her for more than a year, no less, comparable to a little attention? But they were even more baffled by Seren's reaction. She thought about it for a second, and then, blushing, she said, I want your attention. Everyone just dropped. Yep. The manager about burst into tears. He begged her to reconsider, to have pity. He asked what he had ever done to wrong her. You never did me wrong, she said. Why won't you have him spare me? I just want his attention more. And you're willing to let me die for that? What's so scary about dying anyway? Oh my god. Not only did she not comprehend sorrow, she seemed to be devoid of anything resembling fear as well. Which explains why she had so much trouble sympathizing with people's suffering. Why she was always smiling no matter how bad things got. Without our manager, the Birdwell went to hell. His son took over, but he don't give a damn about any of the girls. All he cared about was if he had enough booze to keep himself perpetually smashed. So, figuring I had a better chance elsewhere, I left everything behind and ran, leaving my future in the fate's hand. Fate was kind to me, and I managed to make it here. They come to me in my dreams sometimes though. I see the faces of the poor girls we sent off to gallows. Okay. Ooh. Oh! We are back to Seren perspective now. Back to Seren perspective. Should I save here? And we'll see Seren perspective. Like how she was treated in Barnier's manor next episode? Yeah, I think we can do that. Yeah, let's just do that. We just heard like basically life of Seren from when she's been a child, 5 years old, up until the point where she got into the Lord's manor. And how he took her in. So yeah, Seren is crazy, obviously not normal. I don't know if this is some kind of like medical thing. I mean, being crazy is a medical thing anyway, but maybe there's something like very specific with her. I don't know. Anyway, very interesting like to see how twisted and not normal Seren is, you know? And what's most terrifying is that she doesn't even comprehend how twisted is the thing that she's doing. This is really terrifying. This is a truly terrifying character. Wow. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next one. So we'll see Seren's perspective in the Lord's Manor and the attention she gets, probably, or something. How she gets treated by the Lord. By the looking from the background, like, it's a pretty nice room, so she's been treated well. Barnier likes her. They're both mad. Yeah. So thanks for watching. So click that like button if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you'd like to support me and see this episode earlier. Thank you once again for watching, and I will see you next one. So for now, Pocket Watch, let's get out.